said, no, we're not gonna have hearings, we're not gonna consider whatever the president sends up. And they view that saying, look, that's not adherence to the regular order.
I would just, look, we don't have a say in this because we're the House, but I'll say what I said before, which is the president has every right to put a nominee up. The Senate has every right not to consider a nominee. And there is a precedence involved here, especially we're already halfway through a presidential election. I think that makes sense, not acting on a nominee in the middle of a very contested open seat presidential election. And I do agree. I think that we should let the people decide. The whole thing is up for grabs. The whole thing meaning Supreme Court, Congress, and the White House. Let's give the people the choice in this upcoming election. I was pointing at him, actually. But just, I'll go to you next.
One of your relatives is reportedly being vetted for the Supreme Court nomination. You at the time of her nomination to the federal court, you wrote a letter saying you unequivocally support her.
I spoke at her hearing, actually. I love Ketanji. She's family. But my point is the same, which is I said we should not be acting on a nominee for the very reason I just answered Chad's question. So regardless, my position is the same as it always has been, that the Senate has every right not to consider a nominee, and I think the Senate is right in making the decisions they've made.
I know you say you want to keep your powder dry on this presidential election, but you're seeing more and more Republicans starting to speak out about Donald Trump,
Yep.
according to Mitt Romney today. Are you worried in any way that if you don't speak out against Donald Trump, that history will judge you, get blamed for not doing more?
No, I don't worry about that because I see my role as Speaker of the House as a unique role, and as Chairman of the Convention as a unique role. Here's what I can control. If I see episodes where conservatism is being disfigured, if I see ideas and comments that mislead the people as to who we are as Republicans, I'm going to speak out on those. I've done this twice already. I just did it the other day on Tuesday. So I'm going to do that when I see conservatism being disfigured. I'm going to speak out for who I am and what I believe and what we as House Republicans believe and what conservatism is as we understand it. That's point number one. Point number two, what can I do about this? Well, I can help lead the House Republicans to offer an agenda. I can help put substance in this campaign. The way we see our role in this campaign through our agenda project is to add a keel and a rudder to this ship of the Republican Party and give it direction so that we can take the American people a real choice. This is what I wish we could have done better in 2012, is give the country a very clear and compelling choice so that they get to decide which way we go as a nation. We think that people are stuck in poverty and we've got to do something about it. We think this economy is flat and stale and people aren't getting raises and they're not getting good opportunities. We think Obamacare is bust. We think it's going to bankrupt the country and we need patient-centered health care. We think our military is under duress. We don't have a foreign policy to keep us safe. And we think the Constitution is being ignored. And then we, as elected representatives of the people, are not actually writing our laws. We think a fourth branch of government, these unelected bureaucrats, are effectively writing the laws of America so that the founding principle of this country, government by consent, being a self-determining people, is not at play here. And we want to reclaim that. These are ideas. These are choices. And this is what we can do, and this is what we can do to add value to this presidential campaign and this congressional election.
What confidence do you have that Trump would actually embrace this agenda?
We'll see when we have a nominee.
On that same point, you always like to say that you're a policy guy. Three of those policies that you're most associated with: trade, taxes, and entitlement reform. Trump takes pretty much the exact opposite position. He's anti-free trade. He wants to raise taxes and doesn't want to do anything on entitlement reform. What good will your agenda be if he's the nominee?
Look, we're gonna speak out for who we are and what we believe. We're gonna run on our beliefs. We're gonna run our ideas. I'll just leave it at that.
Regarding the budget, you guys had a discussion about that this morning. I was just curious as to when you have a timeline now for deciding whether you're going to go or no go. And also, somebody asked if there will be full funding of base defense. I wonder if that means a change in the OCO allocation or you're requesting additional $18 billion on top.
I'll defer you to the Budget Committee on OCO levels. I'm going to leave that up. Tom Price is working with Mac Thornberry on that, our HASS chairman. We had a very good conversation in our conference this morning. It reminds me of the kind of conversations I led our conference through when I was writing budgets. We are still on track and on schedule. Remember, our deadline is not until April 15th for the budget resolution. So we still are a good month ahead of where we otherwise would be. I wanted to start this conversation early because we're losing a couple weeks in July. So I wanted to get the process up front so we can consider all of our appropriation bills. We're still on track for that. Ultimately, this is going to be a decision made by our team. That's what I laid out to our conference this morning. The kind of speakership I'm going to have is not going to be the top-down, jam things down people's throats kind of a speakership. This is going to be a bottom-up. We make decisions jointly as a team, as a House Republican conference. I fundamentally believe that we need to pass a budget and that we need to have a full functioning appropriations process. And I laid that out to the members, why I think that. Tom Price has spent the last month listening to the members of our conference, working with the members of his committee to put together a plan forward for how to get not only a good conservative budget and vision, but an active appropriations process. But ultimately, this is going to be up to the members of our conference.
In mid-March?
I'll leave it up to the budget committee to decide that.
Several conservatives are saying that they don't support the plan that was laid out in conference this morning. You said before that you're willing to put up bills on the floor that will go down. I mean, so can you commit that you're going to put a budget resolution on the floor regardless of whether they support it?
I'm going to let our team decide that again. I'm going to let the House Republican team, our conference members, decide how we proceed on this, because that's just how I think the kind of leadership style we need to have around here. Alan. I actually watched it live. I was sitting in my office watching it live, and I just laughed out loud, I think. You know, sometimes reality is stranger than fiction around here these days. I don't really think anything of it. I don't really know him. We're going to obviously get to know each other if he gets the nomination, and we'll cross those bridges when we get to it. I'm a good-natured guy, so I get along with everybody. Alan. We will have to do an extension. It's clear the Senate isn't even as far down the path on FAA reauthorization as the House is, so an extension will be put together. We're working with the Senate to decide the duration of the extension. We don't have an answer on that one yet. Juan.
We do know what Mitt Romney has said about Donald Trump. He just gave a speech and he called him a phony and a fraud. When you hear that from somebody, from Mitt Romney, whom you respect a lot, he was here on the special day when you were elected Speaker of the House.
Yeah, no, Mitt's a good friend.
Does that make you want to, use your bully pulpit more? Do you have an obligation to use your bully pulpit more to speak out against Donald Trump?
What I can control is what we do here as House Republicans. I'm the Speaker of the whole House, and I'm the chairman of the convention. And what I believe I can do to add value to this process. Look, a Republican primary is going to play itself out, and these are the kinds of things you're going to see in an increasingly competitive Republican primary. What can I do as Speaker of the House? I can help offer the country a choice, a vision, an agenda, and that's what I'm focusing my time on. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.